Hey there. So, you know how Facebook is. Facebook is not my favorite place to spend time. But one day I was just spending a little time on Facebook, wandering about, and I see this sparkly G-string bikini and just a picture of it. And I pause because it's a friend of mine. And I'm like, what's she doing? And so I'm looking at this sparkly G-string sequins bikini, and I realize that she's doing bodybuilding competitions. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And so, of course, I started stalking her and all of her photos and everything she was up to. And it blew me away. So I thought, okay, I have to bring Renee on because not only is she doing the bodybuilding, she's doing the bodybuilding and like she's my age. She's kicking ass and taking names, if I can say that on my own show, in the bodybuilding world. So today I want you to meet somebody. Oh, I forgot. I also should mention one other thing. She didn't even start doing weights, I don't think, until she was in her 60s. So all that to be said, you want to listen to this conversation. Hey, Renee, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Kelly, thanks so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to share what's been happening with me.
So, okay, I had to just dive in. Tell me again, when did you start bodybuilding?
Well, I want to say that I've been working out for a long time, and fitness has been a part of my life for a long time. But I started weight training when I was about 58, after I had a lower lumbar fusion, and I was into fitness. But I had some back problems, and after we tried everything else, I ended up having a fusion, and that just gave me more incentive to make sure I was going to be as fit as possible, because I have grandkids I want to play with, and I have a lot of life to live, and one way to be sure about that is to be as fit as possible. So,
okay, can I ask you a question about that? Because a lot of times people tell me when they had back surgery that they just had to stop moving. Like that was it. They were done, just had to stop. So you're saying not at all. You decided that was when you were going to double down?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because in fact, before I had the surgery, I could barely walk. I mean, I was still trying to work out, but I had a lot of problems. And, but after the surgery, this neurosurgeon, who was just fantastic, he said, do what you want to do, go to your rehab and then do what you want to do. And he was, totally all for me working out and getting more fit. And so, yeah, it was just the opposite. I wasn't going to be careful. I mean, I had the surgery, and I was going to be very careful about how I worked out. But that sort of, really pushed me to get in there and find me somebody good who could coach me, that was sensitive to my situation and my age. And that's what I did. And I my doctor, referred me to this particular trainer, Dustin Jackson. And, he isn't just some trainer who's going to, tell you to, do so many sit-ups and push-ups and lifting weights. He's got a lot of credentials, and so I knew I'd be safe in his hands. He's got his master's in, trying to remember exactly what he has his master's in, but
actually, you know what? You gave me that information. Yes. I can drop his name in the show notes.
Oh, fantastic.
People should know about this.
Oh yeah. He's, and I mean, if you have any kind of physical challenges, you want somebody. He's got his master's in sports medicine and dietetics, and he's a registered massage therapist, and he used to work with the Texans. So I knew I was getting a guy who knew how to handle my body, with my challenges. And I wasn't going to get hurt. I've heard too many stories about people my age getting trainers because they want to get fit, and they get injured, and then they never go any. So I knew that wasn't the case with Dustin, and he was very comfortable with teaching me and coaching me through all that. So I haven't had any injuries. So he knew I wanted to be fit, and so he applied his knowledge to my everyday, and that was about 10 years ago.
So, okay, wait a second. Hang on though.
Okay.
So you have this surgery. You decide that you're not giving up. I'm not taking this laying down.
No.
You get a trainer.
Uh-huh.
So you start lifting again, you're getting a trainer. I mean, you've always been fit. So you're back into your swing. And then one day you just wake up and go, I'm going to compete in a bodybuilding competition.
Well, not exactly. I'm pretty competitive, not necessarily with others, but I'm always challenging myself, and I'm, a big energetic person. And so as we were getting into this about a year or two into weight training and all the things that go with it, I said, well, what else can I do? And he said, well, I can see you on stage, Renee, is what he said.
Whoa.
And I said, well, what is that? And he told me about bodybuilding. And I looked it up. I did my own research, and this was, like a couple of years into my weight training. And I said, I mean, I just couldn't get past the putting on a sparkly bikini and getting on a stage in front of a bunch of strangers and showing my butt. I mean, you have to do all of that. And that was my biggest barrier for years. I mean, I even said, well, what other things can I do?
Sure.
I've played some softball, and I'm too short for, basketball. And, there's other things, but I didn't want to get injured as I got older. I'd already had a back surgery. And so every year, we talked about what am I going to do? What's the next level that I can do? Well, Renee, you could do this. And I just couldn't get past the sparkly bikini thing. Honestly, I just like, oh my God. Anyway, but as I got older, and then COVID came, and at that time it's like, okay, and we're still working out, and I'm really into fitness, right? And and when COVID hit, I was really upset because I thought we're not going to be able to work out. And so Dustin literally came to my house, and on my patio, he trained me and a couple of other people from the gym, and we all got to work out together. So
wow,
when COVID came, I doubled down. I didn't say, oh my God, I hate this. I took control. That's how I felt about it. I can't control that environment, but I can control how I react to it. And I was not going to let that mess up my my fitness routine. And so that's what I did during COVID. And I'm glad, because by then I thought, well, maybe I could do this competition thing. It's not easy, but maybe I could. So by the time things relaxed, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. It's not easy, but I'm going to do it. And really it was like that sparkly bikini was my nemesis. In fact, I know nobody can see it, but here it is. And it is sparkly.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to show this on YouTube, because this is a heck of a bikini. Like,
it is incredible. And the woman who made it is also, she competes also, and she's spectacular. But anyway, yeah, this thing, and I've worn it 3 times on a stage. So I've gotten the most bang for my buck out of it. But so I'm used to it now. But
sure.
But
okay.
It took a lot of that.
You've been on stage 3 times. So you've been in 3 bodybuilding competitions. So I'm going to ask you to stop for just a second, because I know of bodybuilding, but I've never even been to a competition. So tell us a little bit about, like, what are you doing?
Well, first you have to really prepare. And I really had a short window of time, because we were working through my other things that were happening in my life and traveling. And I wanted to keep doing all that. But the shows, you have to train differently. And for some people train for a year at a time, before they even get on stage. But I told Dustin, okay, well, I remember May 24th, that was the date. I said, okay, I'm ready to do this. So let's go. And so you have to basically, I had my coach already, my trainer, and so he knows about exactly what I need to do with weight. So we changed my weight training program some and did a little bit more, and, basically to, make my muscles show more and trim down some more, and hired a nutrition coach and a posing coach. So that's kind of you have to have that team. And we had a short amount of time. Most people do it a lot longer, but I wanted to do it when I said, okay, we're going to target X. So that's the next thing. There's a lot of prep. You have to prepare your meals. You have to be, pretty regimented. I'm pretty much a self-disciplined person, so that wasn't that hard. And I was already doing a lot of things that you need to do before I started, like meal prep, and tracking my exercise. I'm a big, fitness tracker person. So I'm doing that. I'm logging my food, which to me is very important, no matter what you're doing, to document your food. It's not really that hard. I've got a Fitbit. It's easy once you figure it out, and set some goals, about what I wanted to do weight wise and all that. And basically just like 1 pound at a time. If I needed to lose, and you do need to lose some weight, because you have to, your muscles show up a lot more. That's right. Yeah. So I kind of believe in the 1 pound at a time approach, not, oh, I need to lose 10 pounds, it's just 1 pound at a time. And, that's how I went about it. So it's tough. But I did it safely and carefully. I had a good guide with me. And so that's the big thing, is you don't just go do it. You have to prepare. And, you're checking in constantly. I'm lucky everybody was here. Some people do this online, but I had local people. So that was great. And so that's really, leading up to it. And then the week before, it's called peak week. That's when you really, get super serious about what you eat, and you cut out a lot of things, still getting your nutrition, but being, super careful about what you do. And you kind of deplete yourself, including with water. So you don't get as much water. So which makes your muscles show more, so I'm learning,
right.
And so that's just part of the process. So until, the day that you go to the stage, and that's a whole separate thing. But all the preparation that goes in helps you. And the other part is you have other people around you doing the same thing. And although I wasn't on a team, you'll find lots of these bodybuilding teams. It was just me and my people. But I knew a lot of other people, other women I had, met, and through Facebook and just different things like that. So by the time I got to that first competition, I already knew some people, and there was a lot of camaraderie. And really, that's another cool thing about it. I mean, at my age, I do lots of fun things. I travel, I do all kind of stuff, but I felt like I found my people. Honestly, nice. That's how I felt. I found my people, because we all do the same thing. There's not any judgment. They're all wearing sparkly bikinis. So there's not any, oh my God, I can't do that. It's like everybody's, doing it. And it was just fun. And that's what I said, I want to have fun with this too. I don't want to make this a job. I want to have fun with it. It's like it's just something, can I do it? It's a challenge, and that was what it was. It was the next level of my fitness program. And it makes sense when I look back on it. Well, naturally, that's what I should do, because I've already built and done everything else. So why not? And I just had to get over the fear and all the nerves and the insecurity about being the oldest person in the building,
Wow, really? You were the oldest person in the building?
Oh yeah, I was definitely the oldest competitor by far. There was, now men compete too now, but
sure.
And I don't think any of them were as old as me, but at any rate, it's turned out to be such a wonderful and surprisingly welcoming group of people. And I remember when I was afraid of all that, it's like, oh, sure. In fact, I did not even tell hardly any of my friends that I was doing it the whole time I was prepping. I went on vacations with friends, I went dancing with friends, and they didn't even know.
It's a little secret.
It was because, why? I was feeling I might be judged, or might, I'm an almost 70-year-old woman putting on a sparkly bikini. So it's like, that's not what everybody might think is okay. And I didn't want to have any negativity. I didn't want any of those vibes. So it's like, I'm going to do it. And then afterwards is when I posted it on Facebook to my group. And that's when you saw it, was after that first competition. Well, that was back at in August, but anyway, so that's kind of how it all started.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. Like, I mean, to me, there's so much amazing about what you're saying. Like, first, that you have a major surgery, and the way you came back from the surgery, and then you just basically grab the cow by the horns, as we say in Texas, and turned it into something really interesting. And along the way, you've probably really encouraged a lot of people and inspired a lot of people. Tell me about
Yeah.
that, because I mean, you've got to be inspired. You inspired me. Heck, like, I mean, I'm blown away.
Well, I was really surprised because I joined a couple of Facebook groups of women who were going to compete, and there's like 30,000 women on this Facebook
Whoa.
site from all over the world, bikini competitors. That's bikini, shape, fitness, all the different categories of bodybuilding. And that's what I did. As soon as I decided to do it, I'm going to find some other people that are like-minded so I can have some communication. And that's when I first started realizing that I was inspiring people, because women would just say, "Oh my God, I can't believe, you're that old, blah, blah, blah." And so that was wonderful. And then when I finally joined Instagram, probably after that first show, and then I posted a few things, then the men bodybuild, so other people
Right.
saw, and in a whole nother group, I don't know much about Instagram, but I just discovered that people are inspired, and that makes me feel so good because, there's no limit.
Oh yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
There isn't a limit.
That's right. But people put limits on themselves, and this stuff, "Oh, I'm getting old and I've got aches and pains." Well, no one wants to hear that. Okay. Just get over it. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
That's right. I mean, those just, and that's one thing my mom always taught me about being positive, and just thinking in the positive realm. And that's what I do. And I'm grateful that she taught me that. And I don't even think, I can't even believe I'm this old.
Okay,
and
wait,
I
how
think
old are
young.
you? You said that like 5
Well,
times.
okay.
You look
Well,
like you're 20, so.
Well, I'm 69 3/4. In March, I'll be 70, March 8th.
Wow.
So we're down to, like, in 4 months, I'll be 70.
So I know the answer, but I've got to ask you. I doubt there's not another group that you can be in at 70 so that you're the youngest in that group, right?
I haven't found that group yet. I would love to.
This one. It's happened to me, believe me.
So yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's tough, when you're the oldest one in the group, but we can be the oldest with the best attitude, and that's what I'm excited about, that I have had that opportunity. I mean, I'm just so glad that I overcame my fear, which was the sparkly bikini. That was my fear.
Yeah.
And judgment, I was concerned about that. And as it turns out, as my group, found out about it, I'd say, probably 99.9% have been super supportive. And, I'm happy about that. But that wasn't required. I mean, I was going to do what I wanted to do. That's another thing about getting older, right? You don't have to get anyone's permission to do anything you want to do.
That's right.
And that's sort of liberating, and that feels good. That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have a question. This is just like it just popped into my head, and I think I know the answer, but my bet is that you have no bone issues, do you?
Well, you know what? I have a few aches and pains. I broke a toe, so it bothers me, because when I dance a lot, if I go dancing, it bothers me. But despite all of my working out, which is for the last, 10 plus years, weight training, cardio, and I take lots of good supplements, still I have a teensy bit of osteoporosis that was found in a bone scan recently. So I'm taking Fosamax. And I was just shocked, but it's, it doesn't hurt or anything like that.
I mean, a teeny bit of osteopenia is not gonna, not gonna
I mean,
be
it's like, I'm not slowing down at all. I mean, I dance, I go, I walk at least 5 miles a day. I used to do 10 miles a day, but that was more than I needed to do.
Yeah.
And so, I'm on the move, and I'm not, I have no big injuries. And I think that's because I didn't play big sports when I was younger. I did some things, but I mean, I don't have any bone issues other than one little teensy bit. But I'm taking care of that.
Oh, that's awesome. And, and if you're if you see us on YouTube, you'll see this, but believe me, she's not slowing down. She hasn't slowed down since she got on this Zoom. We've been like, she is a moving animal. I love it. I love it. So, okay, tell me this, what's next?
Well, okay. So I've done my third show just, October 30th. And now it's time for me to, have the off season, and I'm going to build, which means I'm going to build my muscles stronger, with Dustin's, tutelage, and watch what I eat, but nothing like what I was doing. And he keeps encouraging me, eat what you want, but I'm so afraid that I'm going to, eat and gain a whole bunch of weight. But really right now, from now till probably next summer, I'm going to be just continuing my weight training and working on building the areas that I need improvement on, so that next summer I can do this again. Wow.
Well, that's amazing. I have to say, I was so excited when I saw your picture on Facebook, and I just thought, there's no way I'm not going to wrangle you onto this show, because this is too much fun. And it's so empowering. Like, it's so empowering that I just love it. And I love the fact that you're out there doing whatever you want to do and empowering other women. So thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly appreciate it. Is there anything that you'd like to tell people before we jump off?
Well, I would just say, don't limit yourself. And, if someone wants to work out, I mean, it's great to have a trainer. You don't want to push it too much to where you get hurt. So if you can get a trainer, that's a great thing to do. But in general, I would just say, setting goals for yourself. And I believe in writing down those goals, written goals, and look at them. I do that all the time. It's something that's sort of within me in whatever I do in life. But I would just say, set some goals. Do 1 pound at a time if you need to lose some weight. And
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, 1 pound at a time. That's all you need to do. And meal prep and log your food. And I would just say, don't let anything limit you. I just think that's so important. And as I've aged, I just feel age is really just a number. And I can't believe where I'm at. And I'm excited about whatever else is in store for me in this next decade.
Well, I'm excited to hear what happens next too. I'll be like watching you. I'll even get on Instagram, which I never do.
Well, and I want to thank you, Kelly, for giving me this opportunity. I mean, it was a surprise to hear from you, but I really appreciate it, because I feel like there are people out there who definitely need that encouragement, and I'm excited that I might be able to encourage others to take that next step and just don't limit themselves.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate it.
It was so much fun. Thank you.
That was so much fun.